A year ago at school, I was just hanging out with my friend and all of a sudden we heard there were new students coming the next day. It was nearly the end of the day, so all she said was, "Great," in a mean way. Okay, so the next day comes the new students. They were 2 years younger than us. Anyway, my friend was starting to gossip about the new students. The 2 new students were black, and then, my friend said, "Oh my god, they are black," and other stuff like I would never be friends with one. They weren't close, so they didn't hear what she said. I felt bad for them, but I didn't say anything cause if I did then she wouldn't be my friend. I know she's a bad person, but I had no one else. I finally stopped being friends with her on October 23rd, 2020.
You guys, this is why I never let anybody copy my homework anymore. I must have been in like 11th grade. For a while, people that I wasn't really all that close with kept asking me to send them the homework. It was like 3 different people. I barely knew them. They would find me on Facebook and they would be like, "Hey, oh my gosh, do you have this assignment?" I want to preface this by saying I'm a huge people pleaser. Also, I never had any issues with anybody in school. I didn't see why I shouldn't do this. So I would just send them the homework and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna change it for sure." Yeah, just make sure you do because I don't want to get in trouble. Again, I just didn't really want any unnecessary attention. I just wanted to finish the school year and just, go where I need to go. I wasn't really all that close with these people. So one day I'm sitting in my poetry class, which is like literally my least favorite class. Not because of poetry, but because of the teacher. Oh, I couldn't stand her. The bell rings dismissing everyone, but she's like, "Joe, I need to talk to you." Like, okay. Oh, I just wanted to leave. She tries to be all clever and smart and goes, "Look at this." She shows me a different student's paper. I'm like, okay. Then she shows me mine. And they were identical. Not a single thing changed. I'm also adding that this student who she was showing me the paper of wasn't the student I sent my homework to. So in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I sent my homework to someone. They sent it to someone else. And that person didn't bother to change anything about the work. She's like, "What do you see here?" I'm like, "They're the same." They are exactly the same. By the way, the other student was also there. She made them stay as well. Teacher goes, "What would you like me to do about this?" Oh, I just want to leave. I just say, "I don't know, we ended up with the same answers." She explains that we're both getting a 0. Tells me, specifically me, not to cheat. What? I walk out the door, she yells, "I don't want to ever catch you cheating again." Oh my god. This is to say I wasn't giving my homework out anymore.
This is why you should never skip school. One day I was waiting for the bus and my mom had already left for work, but my stomach was hurting so bad, so I decided to go back home and skip school. So I made it back home and went to my room to lay down. I ended up falling asleep, but I was suddenly awakened by a loud sound. It was the sound of glass breaking. Someone was breaking into my house. So I immediately jumped up and hid under my bed. I was so scared. I could hear someone walking up the stairs. I literally peed in my pants. I could hear rumblings coming from my mom's bedroom. I was praying that the person didn't come into my room, but they did. And I closed my eyes, anticipating to die. But the person ended up leaving my room and going back downstairs. I could hear movements downstairs, and then all of a sudden, my cell phone started ringing. Like for part 2. This is part 2 on why you should never skip school. So I hurried to reach my hand on my bed to search for my phone as I'm halfway under the bed. I finally grabbed a hold of my phone and silenced it. I noticed the movements downstairs had ceased. It was complete silence in the house. It was scary quiet. I didn't know if the person had heard my phone or not, but I wasn't trying to find out. So I dialed 911 while still under my bed to report someone had broken into my house. As I was whispering to the operator, all of a sudden I heard the door slam. I didn't want to leave from under my bed, so I stayed under until the police came. The police ended up calling my mom, and when my mom found out, she grounded me for a whole year.
When I was 17, my family actually forgot about my birthday, so when I told my best friend, she felt really bad for me and convinced her family to do something with me. So they took me out to eat at a restaurant where they throw like bread rolls at you, and they told the waitress that it was my birthday. So the waitress asked me to stand up, and I was like, no. But everyone kept staring at me, and my best friend was like, just stand up. So I stood up, and the waitress announced to everyone in the room that it was my birthday, and she asked everyone to sing happy birthday with her, but absolutely nobody sang, so it was quiet. So I slowly sit back down on my chair and I look over to my friend and she's just laughing because this is hilarious to her. And then I look over at the waitress and she looks scared and she starts giving me a bunch of extra bread rolls and she's like, I am so sorry. Needless to say, it was very awkward and a birthday that I will never forget.